everyone, welcome to another edition of Craps Down Under. So I'm going to continue building our 5k bankroll. I'll continue from where we were yesterday and I'm going to get some reds. And I may not play as aggressively as yesterday. Still play aggressive, but I will collect on the second hit is my kind of plan. I think it's probably a little bit more balanced to do that. We've got a pretty good chance of getting 2 hits, and getting the 3 hits is a little bit less probability. It drops down to about 30, gosh, I can't remember, I think it's 36 from memory, 36% overall probability. Now after you've had 2 hits, probability is actually always changing the actual probability of success actually improves the more hits you get. So if you have an overall probability of say 16% to get 5 hits, once you've actually had 4 hits, your remaining probability of success is now the exact probability of the outcome, which is 70% versus the 7 being 30%. If we're only considering the 5, 6, 8 and the 7, all of those combinations together, it's 70 here and 30 for the 7. So, as you progress through a series of bets and you win and you win and you win, all of those opportunities where you may have lost are now carved away. You've only got what's left in front of you, which if you're on roll 4, the next roll is a 70% in your favour. Now, 30% will still is a good chance to occur, and that's often what happens. You'll see the 7 come up after 4, 5, 6, but sometimes it might be 20 rolls before you'll see that 7. So, 30% still doesn't mean it's going to be away for very long. 30% is still a significant amount. And the way you can think of it, if someone says, okay, you're going to have some, I'm going to give you this pill, there's a 30% chance you might die. So that means 3 in 10 people will die, or 30 in 100 will die. Most people would say, no, that's too high a probability. And that's basically what happens with the 7. It comes up all the time. Just when you're trying to look at probabilities, it's only when you start to really get down into that like less than 1% kind of chance that's where you say it's really unexpected. But anything sort of back from that, so 99% is still 1% chance, 1 in 100, so 1 in 100 people are going to die from something. Most governments would want to do something about that. So, they're the kind of, when you start looking at probabilities, it's really only when you get to those really extreme, less than 1%, a fraction of 1%, is where you start to go, oh well, it becomes very uncertain, very unlikely, I should say. Or if you're on the 99%, it's very certain. You can almost be guaranteed. So anything in between, you're going to see a lot of it. So it's kind of a way to think about it. Because sometimes when we look at probabilities, we go, 70%, that's great. Yep, it's good, but 30% is still very, very it's going to happen very, very often. And that's why we see the 7 roll and knock out our bets all the time. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to be on. And just to be clear, 42, 42, 35. We on will work. And straight out of the gate, we've got a 7. So rather than setting this all up again, I'll just basically pay the dealer 120, and because it's 119 in action, get $1 back. And we've got 5. Alright, so 5 pays 50 for 1. We actually need to hand the dealer 2, so I'll just get 3 back. And these will get pressed up. All of this of him. All that goes back. Oh, need a caps on there too. All right. So if you see my previous video, you'll have seen how that all works. But it's basically handing the dealer 2 because that payout paid 49. And you need an extra dollar to press it up to the 60, 60, 50. All right. Got a 3, doesn't help us. Got a 10, that doesn't help us either. And we've got an 8. So that does help us. And that gives us $70. Now, this was the level where I said I will collect it, try and have a little bit more success. Because, look, $100 is great. It's great to get a black chip, but it's only really $30 more than 70. So it's not like we're losing too much by doing a collect at this stage. And I think, you know, being a little bit more conservative is not a bad idea. Now, if we look at where we are in the hand, and we look at how many rolls the shooters had, we might go, well, they kind of haven't hit these really well. They've hit a lot of other numbers. What we could also do is go, well, let's take our profit down again and take a little bit more off the board. And if we do that, so this is being conservative, but if we do that, we lock up more profit. And in fact, we're even taking some of our bankroll back, because that was the 50 we won. We're actually taking a little bit more back down. So we've actually closed off our exposure completely with those 2 hits. We've basically racked up some money. And this is kind of a more conservative play. It's the same structure, we're just playing at a higher level. But it means, you know, that first loss we got that come out 7. That also means that we're not going to recover that as quickly either. So it's a bit of a balance. We can see how we go. If I don't get another hit now, I can also reduce down again, and I'll probably keep doing this. I'll give it a couple of hits and maybe reduce down if we don't get anything. But there's a good chance we probably see a 7. And there it is. All right, so up we go. All right, so let's be working. Coming out. Got a 9. And we've got a yo. And we've got a, whoops, that was a 6. Come back, it was a 6, it was 426. All right, so that pays 50 for 1, but I don't have the 1, so I'll hand 5. I need to add the extra dollar, so I'll get 3 back in change. Sorry, press. All this comes back. That's where we go. I don't need that guy. All right. And we got a 5. So that's kind of nice. We get our $70 hit. Right, sorry, $70. Now the question is do we want to play the conservative, or do we want to risk it? I'll probably try and risk it and give us another go at this level, try and recover something. We've got the 5. So again, that's another $70 winner, which does help us to reclaim some losses. And now we can decide, well, okay, that was $70. I've got 2 of them back. I'm looking at my rack. I'm pretty healthy here now. If I was to actually pull all this back, I may even be at my target. So let's just see where we're at. So I think we've kind of hit our target. I'll get that one back, just get us even in our rack. Remember, we had, I think it was about 15 here. So we've basically hit our $200 profit target. We don't need to do anything more. That's 2 black chips. And even playing conservative, we still got there. Let's roll it out. Let's see what happens. Or did I not? No. Sorry, I'm wrong. I'm actually wrong. I'm $100 down. So, sorry. Hold the horses there. All right. So, let's... I forgot that I took a black chip. So, I need to get 400 there. So, I'm only up 100. So, that's my bad. I had a feeling something was not right, that we got there that quickly. But yeah, I've got the 4 there now, so I've only got 100 up, and I've basically got a fair bit on the felt here. So yeah, just got a little bit more to go. We've got a 9, we're not on the 9. All right, so I'm going to stay off this come out roll. Got a 4. All right, so I want to risk it. Maybe we will give it another go. Unfortunately, got cleaned up by the 7. So I was getting all anxious to go. Not doing my sums properly. All right. So let's go again. So it would have been nice if we'd have got that extra 1 hit. We would have probably been home. Didn't really need too much. Only 2 there. Oh, need some more whites. Whoops. What did I do there? Picked up an extra. There we are. Change back. In our rack. Alright. Hopefully we don't get too many 7s. Alright, and we're on. Work on the come out. Let's go. Aces. Doesn't help us. And we've got 6, came hard. We'll take it. Pass the 2. Alright. Whoops. Doing the press up. Alright, here we go. Got a 4. We've got a 4 back to back, and we've got a 3. So that's a lot of non-hits. Again, I am being aggressive here, so I'm just going to keep rolling with it. Wow, don't be on the 4 if you're doing a lay bet that we typically do. 9. So we're not really getting what we want, but the shooter's actually there we go. There's the 7. She was actually getting lots of repeaters. So anyway, now we're digging a hole. Digging a hole. So let's go back up. And sometimes you can get almost to your target, and if literally we got that, if we'd have got that 1 hit at that $70 level, we would have been pretty close to done. But now we're down again. Trying to get our 2 hits before the 7. Got a 10. Whoops, that rolled. Was a 10. The 10's the point. And we've got a 5. All right, this is the drill. Past $2. Gonna press it up. I just realised I didn't have my caps on there, so that was my bad. So I do need to do that first. Now I need to take them back. And that comes back. Alright, so I apologise for my terrible dealing. I know we don't need that. We've already got the point. Alright, so just hoping to get another hit here. We've got the 6. Alright, so this shooter's doing okay. Alright, so I'm actually going to be a bit aggressive here. I am going to go for it. Try and get to that $100 chip level that we need. Now I do need to pass 15 to get us to the level that we need to be at. Alright, so 90, 90, 75. We got an 8, came hard. So that gives us 105. Alright, so that helps us to recover a little bit. I'm going to keep going with it. Got the 3. Got the 4. Got the 10. Shooters hit their point. We'll be off. Got a 7 on the come out. It's nice to see that. Got another 7 on the come out. That's great. Get them all out of your system now. Now we're 8. We're on the 8. So hopefully they're not going to keep rolling 7s. Got a 5. Awesome. So another 105. Now, I'm just looking at what we need. We need 250 there. We've got basically 300 here, and we've almost, that we need to recover, we've basically got, that's about, I think, 275 or something on the felt. No, 255 on the felt, I believe. So I'm looking at what we have here. What's on the felt basically is what we've dragged out of here. So I think we're pretty close to our profit target. I'm going to do a stock take here. So let's just see where we're at, just to be clear. So we've definitely made our profit this time, because if I've got 300 here, I've got 400 there, so that's 500 there, all right? So that's a full 500 plus 1,000. There's more than what we came in. We only had, I think, three of these, but let's say I put 4 in there just to be clear. We've made our profit target. So there we are. All right, 220 bucks. I'll put the rest here. I am going to call it a day. I'm going to take that. Let's roll it out. Now this shooter might go on a tear. Who knows what's going to happen. And there's a 7. Beautiful. So I don't mind. I'm only going to roll it to the first 7. I'm going to continue rolling it because it's really more of a laugh to do it. You know, obviously if you're doing payouts, you know, my throw and everything's going to be completely different. So it's a little bit of just a little bit of what may have been or could have been. So there we are. We do notice, yes, we get clobbered 120 bucks every time we hit a 7, but when you get 2 or 3 hits on your numbers, you do recover very quickly. So as you've seen there, we did recover very quickly. We've got our 1,000, and let's just see exactly where we are in our rack. All right. So got 40 bucks, $41 in our rack. Right, 1,041 in our rack, which is more than what we started with. Plus we got an extra $200 bankroll there. And actually what I should do, I should actually colour these guys up to a purple. Let me do that. Colour him up to a purple. Same here, another purple. And same here, another purple. All right. And, you know, this sort of playing more aggressive, it is supported by having this behind us. The whole reason to have this behind us is so we can be a little bit more bolder in our play, understanding that by being bolder, we are increasing our probability of losing a session or losing a session bankroll. That is a very real possibility that we get a string of PSOs, right? So if we got, say, 7 or 8 shooters, PSO, back to back to back, that can happen. Then we would quickly go through our 1,000 or $1,200 bankroll. So, you know, that's ideally I want to get this to it once I finish building this one. I want to get this to 1200 because that's kind of where I like it to be for this kind of play. That gives us exactly kind of 10 shooters. And but even so, we can still just face, you know, loss after loss after loss. I think having some situational awareness, like what I've been using through the series, not always going for the 3 hits. The 3 hits is still a good probability. It's 36% or something, somewhere around there. It's still a good chance at getting it. Doesn't mean that you will get it though. And I think by going for potentially just the 2 hits, which is pretty much a 50-50, it's a coin toss. It's 49 to be exact, but 49%, it's close enough to a coin toss that you can at least get 2 hits, you know, a few times through your session, you know, or several times through your session. By getting that 2 hits, I basically then can regress down and then play the remainder and build up from there. Yes, it means I can potentially lose out when I do get a nice roll. And yes, we know I'm not collecting black chips by doing that, but it does balance out, you know, the probability, it balances out that 2 hits is very, very achievable. 3 hits is, you know, less achievable. 5 hits is even less achievable, but even 5 hits has a slightly better probability than seeing a 7 on any roll. 7's got 16 point something, 7%, or can't remember the exact number. And getting 5 hits has got a 16.8% of success. So given that, when we're sort of comparing, you know, the relative probabilities, there's still a very good chance you'll get, you know, up to 5 hits as often as you could get a 7. But it does mean you have to work every time. And remember, these are long-term averages. So you may not even see it in a session, but long-term averages suggests that you'll get enough chances to see 5 hits fairly regularly. So anyway, I'll leave it there. We've got our target, got more than our 20% we needed, and now we've just got literally, what did I say, we had $141, so, sorry, 1,041. So really we need basically, what was that, 159 to get to our new target. So we're doing pretty well, and this has actually been very, very quick because of the larger bankroll and playing a little bit bolder. So I think from here, going from where we are 5k to 10k will actually be quite quick. So obviously my next goal will be 6k, and I want to build an extra one of these. So once I get this one built, build this to 1200, then I'll build another one, start building one here. So that's the plan, and hopefully we get there, but we could also wipe out as well. So if we wipe out, then we bring one of these in and start playing with one of those. And that's why we build these. So, you know, we can have quite a number of failures here before we're wiped out. So, and another thing we can also do is we can do this. We can play at this level. If that one fails, you know, we can start splitting our bankroll like this, right? And say, okay, well, let's try to 500, and you know, we can play a little bit lower levels. So that's the idea behind having these. You can split them as you need to ride out rough patches. So anyway, I'll leave it there. Appreciate you watching, and look, I'm hoping at some point we'll lose some session bankrolls so we can actually explore how we do this. I'm sure it's going to happen. I can't keep winning all the time. But look, it's not like they're easy wins. None of the sessions I've had have been real. I mean, there's been a couple I've had some really good runs on. Most of them are a fight. They're a little battle. You got to have your wits about you. You got to change your bet levels. You got to respond to what's happening. You know, I'm very, very conscious of what's happening on the table all the time. And it's only these last few sessions where I've just been a bit more bolder, and I'm not being as harsh on the shooter. I'm just trying to rely on the probability to get me through. But we do have the bankroll behind us to do that now. So I'll leave it there, and we'll see you very soon.